I'm Kevin Casey. I'm a professional mixed martial arts fighter. And right now what I'm about to do is issue a warning out to all other competitors.
I don't want overs. I just expect them to happen.
Fatty's gonna fatty is real.
He is terrible!
We gotta know how many wieners are going down these dudes' throats.
I'm gonna go quick because I don't give a fuck about anything that's gonna happen on Saturday.
Hello, boys! We actually have more than two of us tonight. And it's not even a usual suspect. We have Bradley joining us tonight. How you doing, Brad?
What you talking about? This is Jay in the river, baby.
I thought you were hanging out at the Jersey Shore. You got a Wi-Fi connection out there, or what?
Yeah, that's how we do. You know, up here in I'm out of cottage country. I'm back in internet land, so I figured I'd join you boys for the show tonight.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And of course, we got the Kentucky Swordsman, Wes. How you doing? I watched the video you did on Saturday night. Went fairly good. I mean, I got to stare at that beautiful face for about 3 minutes before you started recording or talking. But yeah, how did that go for you?
I definitely got a face for radio or podcasting. That's for sure. Yeah, it's fun to bullshit, man. Yeah, it's sounding like a war zone outside already. For some reason, rednecks down here they love their 4th of July and they get started early. So
I would assume in your state that's got to be legal, right?
Well, actually, me growing up, we actually had a tradition to where no fireworks like that were illegal here for years and years and years, but they were legal in Indiana. So we could just drive across the bridge. Like Louisville sits right next to Indiana, so that was like a ritual. Everybody would pile up in the car and drive over to Indiana and literally buy thousands of dollars worth of bottle rockets and just all kinds of the good shit. But yeah, 4 or 5 years ago they started making them all legal here. It was just losing money, so they was like, yeah, go ahead. And now you can buy those damn fireworks shells that they literally put on barges and shit, shoot them up in the air, and it sounds like fucking bombs. Like, I mean, we get out. I used to. I don't anymore. I'm too grown for it. But I mean, we get out and shoot our guns and shit. You know what I'm saying? And like those things literally drowned out gunfire. They're that fucking loud, dude.
Nothing more American than that.
Yeah, I mean, on the 4th of July, it's like you pound hot dogs like Joey Chestnut. You drink a bunch of fucking Budweiser and blow a couple fingers off. I mean, that's 4th of July in America, man. Straight up.
Beautiful. Nothing like July 4th. Up here, we just wait for the awesome news articles to come out to see how many people lost fingers and limbs and all that stuff. It's quite enjoyable.
So many good videos, man. Like Walmart Black Friday videos and 4th of July firework accident videos is some of the best shit this country puts out. I'm telling you.
Yeah. So of course it was a good fight card on the weekend. Before that, we have some somber slash ridiculous news. Came out today that the UFC has released John Lineker. They have completely lost the plot, and I don't know what the fuck they're doing. It's time for a West rant. Tee it up for me.
Yeah. I know you, before we started recording, said maybe Ariel would put out a tweet saying something. Everybody had cleared him a fight or something, and he still pulled out of the fight last weekend. But, man, who gives a fuck, man? I mean, seriously, like, Brad will probably say here soon. I mean, I even saw people on Twitter that they don't watch every fight card anymore and shit, and was like, I'm tuning in for that Lineker fight this weekend, and then literally after that fight got pulled, they didn't really care anymore. It's like that guy's a I don't want to say a draw because I don't think he's like hugely popular, but like your major part of your core fan base is tuning into every one of that guy's fights. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You need 100 John Linekers on the roster. You know what I'm saying? Not cutting the only fucking one. It's just idiotic, man. I say it a lot pertaining to fucking, drug testing and just the amount of fights and shit. Now it's like this shit going mainstream is the worst thing that's ever happened to this sport, especially for guys like us. I think now they, going off on another side that now they're talking like putting on daily fight cards or something in the UFC PI. Like I saw that come out today to where they're gonna like start just bringing in every fucking bum off the street and filming fights all day long so they have content and shit. It's like, what are we doing here anymore, man? Like you can barely get people to watch some of these cards anymore because it's just watered down shit, man. I mean, I'm half these UFC cards look like a Friday night fucking access card. I mean, we used to watch this shit on Friday nights. Now it's Saturday night UFC. But yeah, man, just this and the Horiguchi when they let him go. These are two that I'm like, y'all are just gone off one, man. I can't understand this. The way it sounds, if the stuff Ariel said's true, it's just all about Dana's ego. You know what I'm saying? This shit is like almost like slave labor, like straight up. These guys literally do what they're told, or you could
place.
Or you can go somewhere else, even if you're an exciting, great, like that dude's a top 5, top 3 guy in the division. You know what I'm saying? Like to cut guys that good that are that entertaining, it's crazy, man. I mean, we've talked about it for years. I mean, if that's going to keep happening unless you unionize. I mean, they just sold off their pay-per-view revenue and shit. All the people that are going to lose pay-per-view points, even your higher stars with all that, like that's the problem they're having with Conor right now, getting him in a cage. They sold off their pay-per-view business to ESPN to have guaranteed dollars in their pocket. All the sponsorships they sell and shit, they don't get shit of that. They sprinkle pennies at dudes for that fucking Reebok deal or whatever the fuck it is. Guys get pennies off that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, if they don't ever unionize it, this shit's always going to happen. If you ever want this to be some kind of serious sport, that's the first thing that's ever happened in any other major sport for it to be a major sport. Your workers unionized and got what they were supposed to get. And that helps all around. That gets better talent into your sport. You know what I'm saying? Because the pay's there to want to get into the sport. I mean, we've said this shit over and over and over. What guy that is the athlete that they can go play basketball or baseball or football or soccer or anything else, why the fuck they want to get in a cage and get punched in the face for pennies? It's just ridiculous. So, like I said, bum fights off the street, pulling into the UFC PI coming this summer. Watch out.
I'm pretty sure you were surprised by this, Brad, considering I think I broke the news 10 minutes before we started recording. You got any thoughts here?
I'm pretty much dumbfounded. Like, this is one of those guys that's in that sort of tier of guys with Cowboy and stuff like that people are like, oh shit, Cowboy's fighting, and they actually know who they are. They want to tune into their fights. There's like maybe 5 guys in the UFC like that. Like, other than like the really popular people, like the Connors and if Ronda or something like that ever comes back, Brock Lesnar, like those people. And then there's the guys that people recognize because they're on those cards because they put on a show every time. And John Lineker put on a show every time, won most of the time, was definitely a top 10 guy. And like, I don't pay attention to rankings and that sort of shit anymore. But there's no way that John Lineker isn't one of the 10 best bantamweights in the world. And you've got a guy that's that entertaining, and you let him go over some shit. After all the fights, like, that dude fought TJ Dillashaw with a broken jaw and a broken orbital or something like that, and put on a hell of a fight. Like, did everything he could in that fight, and you're gonna cut him because he felt like shit and didn't want to fight once in the past, 7-8 years, however long he's been in the UFC. It's like you said, you led with they lost the plot, and they did, and that's why. Honestly, I don't watch as much as I used to, because I want to watch guys like John Lineker. Don't want to watch guys like some of the people that we're going to talk about tonight.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing. I don't know. I guess we hope for like kind of a Yair Rodriguez kind of thing where they supposedly release him and then all of a sudden they come back and no, he's back with the UFC. If not, I mean, there is kind of a silver lining to this. We could see him versus Horiguchi with grounded knees.
One is on the phone right now. I mean, he's gonna get scooped up with a quickness, and it's what's crazy is it's probably better for him. He's probably gonna make more money off of this now. I mean, he's an established name, and he's fucking exciting as hell. Like he's gonna have offers. I mean, he's gonna probably make more money. It sucks for us. Now we're gonna have to fucking stream off fucking some fucked up stream because he's on BR Live at 6 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. You know what I'm saying? So it sucks for it's probably going to be a good thing for him though.
Yes, sir. So yeah, a little bit of a silver lining. We'll see where it goes from here, but yeah, just kind of utter stupidity in my opinion. So yeah, there was a pretty damn good fight card on the weekend. Obviously headlined by just a beautiful display by the Hawg.
Not so much about JDS.
He felt generous. He gave 61 or 71 seconds of his time instead of less than a minute. So that was very generous of the Hawg. More on that later. We'll roll through the preliminary card quick. The Crochet Boss, Maurice Green, likely KO'd the Diaper Baby out of the UFC because I think that's 4 straight losses for the Diaper Baby. Amanda Ribas subs Emily Whitmire. Whitmire's just terrible and can't get away from a person that I think the only way she was going to win was jiu-jitsu, and that's how she won. Delcha, shout out to Brad on this one. Lung ambulance. Elbows Daquan Townsend through his skull and picks up a 3rd round finish. Jared Gordon decisions Dan Morit. I kind of eat it on this one. I didn't put any money on the Brazilian, but Eric Anders takes out Vinicius Moreira in the 1st round. Yeah, that's Moreira is terrible. And then the main event on the prelim card, Ricardo Ramos decisioning something called Journey Newson. Wes, your thoughts?
Yeah, man, I like Maurice Green, man. That dude's he's got a little personality. I mean, we talked about it. I hope he's still on the fucking
Virginia Slims,
the Virginia Slim 120s. But I mean, seriously though, at heavyweight, man, I mean, what do you really got up there? You know what I'm saying? I mean, this dude's shown he's got some knockout power. Shaun talked about it last week. That dude started in jiu-jitsu. The guy's actually, I think he might be a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Was a glory level kickboxer. I mean, there's just not much at heavyweight. And yeah, him at minus 110 here was pretty funny to me. That dude's actually made me a good little chunk of money since he's come off tough. So yeah, I like some Maurice Green. Yeah, Rivas looked all right, but yeah, Whitmire's just absolutely terrible. Yeah, the lung ambulance, he probably looked like he needed the lung ambulance going into the 3rd round. But yeah, that cat's fucking scary, man. If that dude can keep up any kind of pace, yeah, he's a scary individual, man. Jared Gordon is just absolutely fun as hell to watch. That was a fun fight. Anders was one of those guys I was kind of worried to bet on. We both thought he would win this fight, but man, holy shit, where's that been? You know what I'm saying? I mean, where's that power and shit been for a year or so? I mean, Mohei is pretty bad though, I think, and I still don't trust Anders, man. Those miles are still on those tires and shit. And then Ricardo Ramos, man, that dude's still 22 years old, so I think he can still be pretty decent.
Yeah, Maurice Green, he's pretty well rounded. He's got a decent kicking game. Obviously, showed off the power with the jab and the straight, and like we said last week, he's got a decent ground game. He's got to work on the head movement a little bit. I don't know if he needs to go talk to Edmund or what the deal is, but he does get hit a bit much for a heavyweight. But I guess that's kind of to be expected. Don't give a shit about the women's fight. Cost me some money. The lung ambulance, I mean, I didn't really expect. I mean, he's a judo guy, so I guess kind of expected him to take down the guy, but the athleticism is there, obviously. You just worry about that that gas tank with all them muscles. Eric Anders can throw power when there's pretty much no worry coming from the other
resistance.
End. I mean, Mohea pulled himself into fucking mount, like pulled Anders into mount, like just that guy's bad. Still don't trust Anders, and Ramos still just a good fight for a young guy. Brad, I don't believe you watched the fight, so I don't know how you come up with lung ambulance. Is it just a natural talent? You see something and you go for it, or how does that work?
It's one of those things. It has to happen right away. Like you have to look at it and just
instant.
See it.
It's got to be there.
Whenever I've tried to like sit down and look at these things and do some research, come up with funny shit to say, it just doesn't go well. You just gotta
fly off the tongue.
It has to happen. Yeah.
That is.
I'm gonna say one thing about Eric Anders though. I didn't watch the fight, and looking back now, I know it was kind of shitty then that he didn't get the Machida decision, but how shitty is it now that his career is just like kind of gone down the tubes? Because that would have been like the one win where you'd be like, yeah, that dude was pretty good. He beat Machida once. Like,
Yeah, that was definitely. It seems like a fork in the road. I don't know. Maybe he would have caught up with him anyway. But I bet him in that fight. I kind of thought he won it, but he loses.
He won it.
He loses. Machida goes to Bellator, and he starts losing a lot. So that was an interesting fork in the road for him.
For both of them.
Yeah. Now Machida's beating the shit out of Chael Sonnen and retiring him. Up on the main card, the Bear Jew finally got put in his place and didn't fight an absolute meathead that would just give him submission wins. Alonzo Minifield KOs the Bear Jew in 3 minutes and 19 seconds of the first round. Drew Dober, there's a lot of first-round finishes. Drew Dober knocks out our buddy Marco Polo Reyes minute 7 into the first round. Polo Reyes just looked done there. He's just... he needed to let that go a little bit longer, and then maybe he has a chance to slug it out, but Dober just has that power. Vink Pickle, our friend, defeats the newcomer. Well, not the newcomer, but Roosevelt Roberts by decision. Wes gave a little tip on Pickle to one of our fans, and I think he cashed about $5,000 on DraftKings or something like that with his lineup.
He still had to do the rest of the work.
Oh, he did most of the work, but he was looking for an underdog, right?
Yeah, he needed a cheap underdog, and I gave him told him go with Pickle, and I think he won almost $5,000. That's fucking awesome.
Yes, sir.
Not bad.
Up in the welterweight division, Damian Maia defeats Rocco Martin. Got a little sketchy in the third.
Yeah, it did.
I've got breaking news, guys.
Oh, let's hear it.
I watched this fight.
Oh, we're gonna need some in-depth analysis coming up.
The Wi-Fi came in.
This was the one fight that I watched.
Good stuff.
And probably the worst fight on the card.
But to be expected. Next up, supposedly for a title shot, except not really because bald fuck doesn't do what he says anymore. Benavidez takes out Formiga in the second round. And then the main event, the Hawg does what the Hawg does. TKO's Junior Dos Santos, a minute 11 into the first round. What do you got, Wes?
Tried to tell Lance, man, it was going to come to an end, dude. It finally did. Paul Craig fought, like you said, a dude that had a little more of a fight IQ than a fucking urinal cake. And Alonzo Menifield, I like that cat, man. That dude can bang. That was one of the faves that I actually used, really liked on the card. And then, Drew Dober, the dude's got some power now. I don't know where it came from, but he's been knocking some guys out. But, yeah, Marco Polo is just – that dude's horrible. Then, old Vinny Pickle, he cashed for us, man. That was nice to get Vic Pickle. I believe he was around a plus 200 underdog. Kind of could see this coming, man. Roosevelt Roberts just puts himself in spots like that. That dude's got a lot of holes, man. So, yeah, that was a nice cash. And then, we really liked Damian Maia here. I mean, pretty much this was how we thought it was going to go. But, yeah, man, that third was just holy fuck. He hit a wall, dude. That was scary as hell. I don't know what you do with Maia anymore, man. Do you keep giving him guys like fucking Tony Martin and shit? I think he said something about fighting somebody in a retirement fight or something after this fight, but it's probably close to about time for Damian Maia. But helmet at minus 170 against fucking Tony Martin was awesome. And you got me on the Benavidez Formiga fight, man. I went back and forth on that fight a lot, man. Ended up on Formiga as a dog, but that was impressive by Joe B, man. To finish Formiga like that was pretty impressive. And yeah, I mean, I think we kind of wrote Joby off a little too much after the Pettis fight. He looked like he was slowing down and stuff, man, but he looks as good as he ever has. Honestly, I mean, I thought that was a very impressive performance, but you're right. What are they even doing at 125 again? I mean, who knows anymore? And then, Cejudo is out till December. Who fucking knows with that division anymore, man. And then, my dude, the Hawg, another just first round KO, Junior doing some dumbass shit. The guys, I mean, I think I said it last week about him turning and running in fights and shit. And he just, that was some dumb shit. But man, Hawg is getting better, man. If you watched him even in that fight, how he uses his kicks, man, that low kick he was using is devastating, man. He's got a almost kind of close to like an oblique kick that not kind of how Jones does it to the knee or anything, but maybe a little higher up, just kind of define range. And you can see him adding things to his game, man. I still don't think he should probably fight DC at this point. That fight still worries me a lot. But that guy's going to hold that belt, man. I mean, just outlasting some of these old cats, he's going to hold that belt. But I don't know about DC, the DC fight, man. That's I still think that's probably trouble for him, man. But I hold DC high up there as far as a fighter. So Stipe, maybe another story. We'll see what happens to Stipe in this next fight. If he gets knocked out cold again, who knows? But was also seeing my dude back, and he's gonna hold that belt one day.
All right, Brad. What do we want that in-depth analysis of the Damian Maia Tony Martin fight? What you got for us?
Well, based on recent events of John Lineker being cut, anybody that fights like Tony Martin, Anthony Rocco Martin, what the fuck is that?
We talked
about
Tony
Martin.
It's Tony. We said
Martin.
We'll only call him Rocco if he makes a porno and puts it out.
There you go. That's the best way to go about it. But anybody that goes into a fight against Damian Maia and knows that they're not good enough to be able to get back to their feet and actually be able to strike with him, but is unwilling to accept grappling with him, you just deserve the worst punishment in the world, because it makes for a terrible fight.
Yep.
Like that's probably why I didn't see the last two fights, which apparently turned out to be very good, because I tuned into this and I was just like, this disgusted me. I didn't want to watch anything else. So I hope Tony Martin, I hope all the bad things happen to him. But I watched that fight because apparently I was the only person to pick Vinny Pickle on Oddsbreaker. So I got a little notification on my phone and I was like, oh yeah, there's UFC. And tuned in and then tuned back out. So there's that.
Nice pick on the Pickle, man. Nothing wrong with that. I don't. Junior Dos Santos in that main event, he kind of started out okay. He was kind of throwing some leg kicks, but just doing what he was doing is not gonna win you a fight against the Hawg. Just trying to throw wildly and just catch him, that's not gonna do it. You gotta push him up against the fence if you can. Either gotta be in or out, not throwing just wild fucking overhands, which is what he did, and then he got dropped. So I guess that's the way it goes. At least he didn't take too much damage. JDS is a pretty good guy, and he didn't get smashed too bad, so that's good for him.
Can I say one thing on that fight?
Yes, sir.
Wesley, you were talking about the Hawg and how you don't want him to fight Cormier, but I heard a nasty rumor that on your show after the event you said that Cormier was your number 2 all time. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's hard, man. He's up there though, right? You can't.
Tape. It's on tape.
You can't argue he's up there though, right?
Not number 2. Like you think Cormier is better than GSP all time? Come on.
Well, I was a little fucking high, man. I mean, you gotta give me a break.
A little, Wes. Come on now. Let's.
You gotta give me a break.
Now the truth comes out.
He's
up
top
there,
5.
He's
top
an
5.
all-time great.
Yeah, he's top 5. But I hear you though. GSP's got to be argued. I think Fedor and I don't rate Anderson as high. I don't rate Anderson as high as a lot of people.
No, I don't rate him as high as those guys. I think Aldo's higher than him. He's probably in that top 5 conversation.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there you go.
But I'm glad you're I'm glad you're calling me on that DC bullshit though.
That's what I expect here. I expect to get called on all my bullshit too, because there's a bunch of it coming. We're fucking
we're DC fucking cornball fucking haters around here, and I'm glad that you kept me in my place on that.
There you go.
The next up, the return of Jonathan Dwight. It's been quite a joy to actually watch him, fight routinely recently. So it's another return. Hopefully he does what he does in the main event. But it's a pretty good pay-per-view card. We start with some roughness, though. I know Brad's going to want to break this down in depth. In the women's bantamweight division, we got something called Julia Avila versus Pani Kianzad. Wes, who the hell are these people?
I did watch quite a bit of Pani on her tough season, and she's actually a decent fighter. I don't know much of anything about the chick she's fighting, but Penny beat about everybody on that season except Macy. Who I think is pretty damn good. Like she's put on some performances after that fight. So I'm still going to be stuck at a wedding while these fights are going on, trying to watch on my phone, and I'll probably have a little degen bet on Penny at around 2-1. I think that line's a little bit off, but I don't know shit about this other chick.
Brad, you've been just watching Invicta every single event, so you know what Julia Avila is all about, or what?
I remember watching Annie back in like Cage Warriors in like 5 years ago.
That's more your style.
I know who she is, but she's boring kind of grappler. She's going to clinch you. She's going to hold you up against the cage and dirty box you. And against most of these chicks that still don't know how to dig for an underhook, it's going to work. So I could see that probably working for her again, because there's nothing impressive about the other chick in terms of I looked just a little bit to see what she was about, and it was nothing impressive to me.
Yeah, I didn't even play Go's decision. I could really give a shit. I will pick Penny because she has a Wikipedia page.
Lance breakdown, nice.
Next up in the welterweight division, we got Ismail Nordiev versus Chance Encounter. Wes, what do you got here?
Is that like an alley rape? Is that what that is?
It's chance. It's like Monopoly. You never know what you're gonna get. It could be good. It could be bad.
Oh man, that fucked me up. Oh, so simple but so good. Nardiev looked pretty decent in his debut, but man, as usual, Panzeris was just way undersized in that fight, and it really caught up to him. Not that Nardiev didn't show some skills in the fight, because I think he did. But man, Rancor's a tough out, man. And your second fight here, minus 600 fave, that just seems a little off to me, man. So, like last week, Nardiev will probably win this fight, but man, at plus 450, I'll have to take a shot here. Sitting in the back row at the wedding on the phone, I'll definitely take a little plus 450, and I'll scream out a little bit during the ceremony if I hit it. So Rancor, and he'll be a pick in Toutmaster for sure.
Brad, you got anything on the Austrian Wonder Boy versus the Black Eagle? I don't know where the fuck that comes from.
Why do they do this?
Those actual nicknames?
Supposedly.
Is that a real thing?
They are.
Holy shit. Wow. I don't have a whole lot here. I'll be honest with you guys. The way I've been picking fights so far this year is I look at people's records and I see the type of fighters they lose to and the type of fighters they beat. And Ismail Nardiev is a massive favorite, and he lost to something called an Ishmael de Jesus.
De Jesus.
Yeah. Ishmael of Jesus. There you go. Who's a 39-year-old, now 17-7 Brazilian dude who just fights all over the place for weird reasons, apparently. So, yeah, if you can lose to that guy, I feel like you can lose to a half-decent guy from the U.S. regional scene.
Yeah, this is kind of a wild number. Nordiev opened like minus 300, got hammered pretty quickly. It was minus 400, and then was there for a while, kind of went up and down, and then kind of last week, all of a sudden, everybody just started parlaying him up, and now we have him at minus 600. He should obviously win. I don't think old Chance Encounter is very good, but I'll probably pick him in Toutmaster just because minus 600 on a guy that's just very, very unknown, and I think he's just getting pumped up because he beat a known guy in Prazeres last time.
These
and it's not like.
Sorry, Brad. Go ahead. Yeah, I was just gonna say these are spots you want to take in Toutmaster, guys that are just unproven against tough dudes like that. 4.5 points in Toutmaster for a chance against one. And these are the spots you want to take.
And especially when you've got a guy like Community Chess that's a tough motherfucker. Like he's never gotten finished in his career at all. So if the kid from Europe comes in and puts it on him early, he's not going to go away. He's going to make him do it for 3 rounds and see if he actually can. So that's always a nice angle to have too.
Yes, sir. Next up in the middleweight division, we have head movement Edmund Shabazian versus Jack Marshman. Wes, what do you got?
This shit is so good. Like Edmund, trained by Edmund. It's just, this shit writes itself, man. Edmund's good though, man. That guy's he's got some skills, dude. I think this is the same exact scenario though, man. He should win this fight. I don't think a whole lot of Jack Marshman, but one thing with Marshman is he's going to give you a tough out, man. That was a pretty good banger against John Phillips his last fight, and he stayed in it, ended up getting a split decision. I just think he's going to make Edmund work in this fight, man. It's not going to be an easy out. We saw Darren fucking Stewart give him a hard out and go to a split decision with him just a couple fights ago. So I could absolutely see Marshman staying in this fight for 3 rounds and getting to the scorecards, and we see some funny shit. So this is another spot that I'm absolutely going to take the plus 475 on Jack Marshman. That's a crazy line on a tough dude against a young guy, and just his, I think, 3rd or 4th UFC fight. So Marshman for me, and he'll be a pick in Toutmaster as well.
Brad, thoughts on the Marshmallow Man?
Another person that I know who he is from Cage Warriors, and I actually watched his last fight too. Look at that! Shit. Just it's practice. He's fun. He's durable. He's one of those guys that's, I think he's less durable at this level than he was back on the UK scene. But he's facing a guy that's very hittable, and he's got some power. And when you get one of those young kids, like, by the way, to me, this kid is. I've seen Armenians. This motherfucker isn't Armenian.
No, he ain't got no body hair.
This guy is like the Canelo of Armenians.
Oh shit! That's good stuff.
He likes to get punched. He's one of those guys that he'll take some shots, and Marshman's got enough power to get some, like, either do something to him, do some real damage, or get some respect from him, and turn this into a fight. And I just looking at the guys and knowing who they are, and then seeing the number, that doesn't all equate to me. So if people want to play here, I would be leaning more towards Marshman for sure.
Yeah, Shabazian, he's undefeated, 9-0 right now. Out of those 9 fights, 8 of them have been finished in the first round, a lot of them in the first minute. We obviously saw some resistance in the Darren Stewart fight. I think that's might be what we're looking at here. Marshman, like you guys said, is a tough bastard. He can take it, and he can also throw it. So he might be able to give throw some hammers, get Shabazian's guard up, and then it might go a while, and it might end up in the decision. So possibly look at maybe the points handicap with Marshman, or you can just take him at plus 4. He's plus 475. He's plus 500 at some places. I think that's kind of crazy. If you want to look at like goes to decision, is plus 155. I think there's some options on this fight. I don't have anything on him right now, but I think could turn into a close fight. I got to give the edge to Shabazian, but I'll pick Marshman, and hopefully I can hit one of the two last fights, one of them in Toutmaster, and get some big dog odds. Next up, we got Alejandro Perez versus the Dong Song.
Yeah, Dong.
Yeah, we like the dongs around the analysis. Yadong's been pretty. I don't know. He's been somewhat impressive. I
feel like he's really been growing.
Yeah. The competition is definitely going to get stiffer from this point forward, though. Yeah, I mean, dude's still only 21, man, but you still, even saying that in jest, the competition is going to get harder and harder, man. And this guy, I just never trust these dudes that stay over and train in China and fucking, New Zealand and shit. This guy's still over there training, and Perez isn't great or anything, but he's beat some guys in the UFC, man. He's beat some tough dudes. This is another fight. I don't think he should be 2-1 in this spot. Your dog should win here. But man, Perez is gonna make it tough for him. And at 2-1 odds, this is another one of the early fights that I'll probably put a little sprinkle on and pick Perez and Toutmaster.
So supposedly Sherdog has his fight camp at Team Alpha Male, but that place is a dumpster fire right now as well. So
that might be worse than China.
he might be better staying in China and just training at the new UFC Performance Institute. But what do you got for us, Brad?
Yeah, Perez, there was a long time where I thought instead of being the guy who looked like a tough, pretty decent fighter, I thought he was the guy that got flying kneed and choked out by Patrick Williams in like 20 seconds.
23, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. But I've come around on him. He's better than I think. And just look at the caliber of guys that he's fought, been competitive with, and beaten compared to the guys that Yadong has fought. And Yadong has looked impressive in some of his performances, and he's athletically pretty gifted. He's really erecting the solid foundation of a career, brick by brick. But I just don't think he's at the same sort of level as the guys that Perez is used to competing with and beating. So, I look at who these guys are, and then I look at the line, and that one doesn't make sense to me. I'm picking Perez in this fight outright, and if you're picking a guy plus 195, plus 200, not so bad.
Yeah, that's kind of a crazy line for a guy that's been in the UFC for a solid 4 or 5 years now. 5 years, yeah. Against a relatively unproven newcomer to the UFC who's, he has 3 fights in the UFC. It's just they're against terrible guys. So it's tough to side with Yadong in this one. I think he will be better at some point in his career. I just don't know if he's going to be better on fight night. So I got to side with the more proven veteran fighter in Perez, and I'll look at possibly betting him as well. Next up, we got in the women's strawweight division, Claudia Gadelha versus Randa Marcos. I think we might have some conflicting opinions on this fight. What you got, Wes?
Yeah, this is an interesting fight, man. I just think more so because of where we're all trying to figure out where Claudia is in her career at this point, and I agree with most that she's definitely declining. I don't think there's any arguing that, but is she declining to the level that everybody thinks she is? I mean, we was all kind of shocked that she lost to Ansaroff last time. But I mean, to me, Ansaroff putting on the performance she did against Suarez, who I think is just going to be the champ eventually. She's gotten better. So still, that Claudia makes it to a third round, man, and it's ugly. I mean, it just you're going to be holding on for dear life. I just don't think I never have thought Marcos is great. You know, she's decent. She's tough as hell, but she doesn't have a ton of skills, man. And yeah, I think if this gets to the third, you're going to be a little worried, but I don't know if this gets to the third, man. I mean, Marcos was getting taken down by Angela Hill. Do we really not think Claudia is going to smash her on her head in this fight? She's absolutely going to get her down. Can she do enough damage to get the fight stopped in the first or the second? I mean, we'll see. Even though when Claudia does gas in the third, though, she stays in fights, man. That chick will take a beating, man. She will not get out of a fight. So, yeah, I think if you're on Marcos in this fight, you're banking on Claudia being really, really shot. And I think she's declining. I'm just not sure if she's completely shot yet. I mean, just a couple years ago, imagine the line that she would be against fucking Brandon Marcos, and she's only a little over 2-1 here. Nothing big for me, but I'll probably end up having a tiny bit on Claudia in a parlay.
Bradley, do you side with Wes and Claudia Gadelha?
I do. I've never been impressed by Randa Marcos. I think that she feels like she's most comfortable when she's grappling, and that's not a good place for her to be in this fight. And honestly, even if Claudia gets tired late in this fight, Marcos isn't the type of person who's going to put a bunch of strikes together and really work you over. She's going to stand there and look for her shot. And even when she's tired, Claudia still throws. She doesn't just completely go into a shell, and she's still going to have more power and probably more speed than Marcos, throwing those one-off shots. And I don't think the third's going to be as scary for her as it normally would be. So very confident in one of the three sisters, Claudia Gadelha. Yeah.
I think you might be mesmerized by that booty. It might be blinding you a little bit, Brad. I'm on the other side. I definitely don't think
you're just a Canadian homer.
I mean, Marcos trains in Detroit, so I mean, he's not even that Canadian. I'm not a fan of Marcos. I don't think she's that good, but I just think the drop off in Gadelha is steep. The Ansaroff loss, I mean, it doesn't look as bad in hindsight, but the one that really sticks out for me is that Esparza loss. Or the win, but I mean, I think everybody kind of thought she lost that fight. That was bad, and Esparza doesn't strike very well, and she was lighting her up. That was just a bad matchup. I think Marcos is definitely going to have to survive the first. Even with how strong Gadelha comes out in the first, it's not like she has a bunch of first round finishes. Usually she is winning the first round decidedly, the second round close, and then she has to survive that third. Her only UFC finish is in the first round against the Koala Bear, but other than that, that's kind of how she's had to win. I think this is going to be kind of the same thing. I think Marcos survives the first. It gets close in that second, and then I think the third is going to be Marcos just jabbing and possibly laying on Gadelha with her being dead tired. I just think it should be a bit closer for odds. I put a unit on Marcos at plus 198. I also put Go's decision in a parlay, and I have just over a unit and a half on that. So I definitely think it goes to the decision. I think Marcos can survive early, and then it gets sloppy, and then I'll be looking for a greasy decision. So I'll take the almost plus 200 on that one. Next up, we got short notice fight in the bantamweight division. Marlon Vera versus something called Nohelin Hernandez. Wes, do you know who Nohelin Hernandez is?
No, I have no idea. Don't need much on this one. Marlon Vera is a pretty good fighter, and he's gonna get the job done here.
You know, allegedly, this Hernandez fights at an AKA. That's what Sherdog's telling me anyway. And his nickname is Suave, so I don't know. Maybe he's got something there. Brad,
his name isn't fucking Rico, so he should go fuck himself with that nickname.
Fair enough.
And is it Suave or Suave?
Ooh. I would side with the latter.
Well, that's a little bit better at least. But I got fucking nothing here.
Yeah, I don't either. Vera should win, and yeah, who cares otherwise? Next up, it'll be an interesting fight. We got an old vet and an up and comer in this one, featherweight division. Gilbert Melendez versus Arnold Allen. Wes?
Yeah, I really don't get this fight too much, honestly. I mean, Gil's pushing 38 here, man. This fight's at 145 again. I don't know what this old dude's thinking, cutting to 145 again. And I mean, you're feeding him to a guy that's, I mean, dude's young and pretty damn good, man. I think this could get kind of ugly for Gil here, man. I just, like I said, I really don't get even why he's taking a fight like this. He hasn't fought. I think he's got a grappling match or something, but he hasn't fought in a couple years, man. And yeah, dude's getting that ESPN money now. His gym's getting pretty big. I don't get it why these guys like this, man, at almost 40 years old and shit keep fighting, and then to fight a guy like Arnold Allen, you know, I just don't see what this does for Gilbert Melendez besides some fucking physical damage. So, yeah, I think Arnold Allen rolls here, man. I'm pretty high on that kid, and I think he could get this done just about anyway. But it's gonna be a grind fest into the second and third round. Maybe Gil survives. He's been tough, but I think Allen gets him out of there late. So yeah, I like Arnold Allen here quite a bit.
Brad, you like the young pup or the old dog in this one?
I'm definitely siding with the young pup here. Yeah, I don't understand why Gilbert Melendez is fighting. Also, because I haven't watched a ton, it doesn't really feel like he's been away for that long. But at the same time, for him to be as old as I know he is anyway, and still cutting down to 145 for some reason, and then facing a guy who's pretty much got unlimited stamina and just keeps coming and coming and coming, that just doesn't seem like a good recipe to me. I think that it's probably going to be competitive. You know, Melendez is going to stick with it in the first round, and then I think he's just going to start to get overwhelmed in this fight. And honestly, if Allen gets a late stoppage here, I wouldn't be shocked by it at all.
Yeah, I don't have too much more to add. Bit puzzling. Melendez out 2 years. Arnold's seems like he's been getting better and better. He's still only 25. He's training at a TriStar. You assume he's going to continue getting better. Side with Allen. Might look at some props in this one, but nothing at the moment. On to the pay-per-view, and we should start with an interesting one between Diego the Crazy Man Sanchez against Michael Chiesa.
Yeah, our dude, the crazy one. Yeah, Diego did finally leave Jackson's though for this fight, and is apparently training with one of those fucking crystal believers or touch butt in the park motherfuckers. Yeah, so who knows? But man, we know how this fight is gonna go, man. I mean, we've seen this shit over and over and over. Chiesa's going to want to get this down and try to sub Diego, and Diego's never been subbed in his life. So, I mean, this shit has 29-28 Diego written all over it, dude. So I will take that once again at around plus 300. Diego's going to win a decision.
Bradley, are we going to get some funny judges in a Diego fight again?
I take the judges very seriously in every Diego fight. But in this case, I know you guys said Diego's off training with some crystal believers, and you know who he's really training with? He's training with the Iceman Wim Hof, the legend himself. So Diego's going to be ready for this one, man. Chiesa's not just going to hop on his back and choke him out. This is going to be a scrap, and it's going to be the type of scrambly sort of fight that Diego's initial reputation was built on. I think this one's going to be fun to watch, and it's the type of fight that Diego comes out on top on.
Yeah, Diego's a crazy man. He's 37 years old. He seems to be defying the odds against some guys recently. Beat Craig White. And then last time out, he was able to finish Mickey Gall as a big underdog as well.
God, that was great. Such easy money.
That was crazy. And yeah, they keep kind of putting him in these fights against grapplers, and I don't know if they feel bad for him. They don't want him to get more brain damage, so they're like, okay, we'll throw him a grappler, so then hopefully it won't smash his head in too bad. And he seems to do all right. Like Wes said, Chiesa's likely going to try to get him down. Maybe he's just like, I don't even want to mess with Diego on the ground. I'm just going to strike with him. That's probably a smart idea. But even so, if that comes about, we're gonna see Rock'em Sock'em Diego, and the judges like action, and they like just lots of striking, and that's what Diego brings. So this definitely seems like it's gonna be a close one, a wild fight, and at almost 3-1, you kind of got to take a shot at Diego. I put a half a unit on him at plus 275, and I put a half a unit on him by decision at plus 400. I just feel like Chiesa probably should be like a minus 200 favorite, maybe. Like, Diego finds ways to win. You got to put him out, and I just don't know if Chiesa has that in him. So I guess we'll see on Saturday. And surprisingly enough, I think that's going to be our consensus bet of the week. Diego Sanchez at plus 290. Crazy times. Interesting fight next. In the light heavyweight division, we got Luke Rockhold moving up to his new home at light heavyweight against the Blockman, Jan Blachowicz.
Yeah, this is just kind of weird, man. It's weird seeing Rocco up at 205 now. I mean, Weidman's talking about moving up there now. They're arguing on Twitter over who's going to fight Jon Jones and shit. It's like, what the fuck's going on? Man, Rockhold is 10 times the fighter that Blachowicz is, man. Don't get me wrong. There's just so much weird shit around this fight to me. Blachowicz can make fights so ugly, man, and you got to think he's going to be the bigger man here. So, man, if this shit gets like grinding up against the cage and stuff, who knows? But Rockhold should absolutely win this fight, man. I'd have a hard time laying over 2-1 on him here. I know Shaun got a really great line that I would absolutely took as well, so I'll let him talk about that. But yeah, the pick is going to be Rockhold here. Something's screaming at me that funny shit could happen here, so I'm not laying over 2-1 on him, but he'll be my pick for sure.
Brad, you got the model or the Eastern European in this one? Bradley? Bradley may have
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Is that Larry OG?
Yeah. I just need to hit that mute button.
Yes, sir.
Rockhold is the type of guy that he doesn't really lose fights so much as he loses moments, and normally that happens against pretty explosive guys, and that's not exactly what comes to mind when I think of Jan Blachowicz. So
Michael Bisping for sure.
Well, that's really the exception to the rule.
Yeah, go ahead.
But he just sort of gets clipped, and he's never really losing a fight up until that point. And I don't think he'll be losing this fight at any point. And even though he's going up in weight, Blachowicz isn't really the dangerous, explosive type of striker that he would normally have a lot of trouble with. So I think that Rockhold's going to be pretty fine, being the faster guy, controlling the distance, landing a shitload of kicks from outside. Maybe he lands something to the body hard that puts Blachowicz down, or he might just sort of coast his way to a decision. But I think it'll be pretty comfortable for Rockhold either way.
Yeah, I agree. I think the skill difference is pretty big in here. I think the extra weight is definitely going to help that chin of Rockhold's. Blachowicz just was knocked out I guess it was like 5 months ago, so it's a decent amount of recovery time, but still he did something very stupid and got smashed by Thiago Santos, so that's got to be in the back of his mind a bit. I just think the length of Rockhold and just overall striking game, and Rockhold's got good takedown defense. He's got pretty good offensive wrestling, so I think he's going to be good at light heavyweight. I mean, there's not that much there, so I think even him at just mediocre Rockhold can do pretty well at this weight class. I was able to get a crazy number. The idiots at Bovada opened Rockhold minus 125. So I got a tiny bit of that. There was some crazy odds.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I mean, even at Dimes, there was some crazy odds bouncing around. He got up in the minus 140 range, stuff like that. So altogether, I got 2 units on Rockhold at minus 136. So I can't complain at that number. So yeah,
shit.
I hope that CLV comes with a win as well, but you never know with Rockhold. That jaw and glass chin is sketchy, and he is fighting a bigger guy, so I guess we'll see. Next up, we got an interesting fight. I think this could be kind of boring. I guess we'll find out probably pretty quickly. In the welterweight division, we got Jorge Masvidal versus the funky one, Ben Askren.
First off, before I even talk about this fight,
here we go.
I just want everyone to think back to that time that Robbie Lawler picked this dude up over his head, dropped him on his neck, knocked him out, smashed him in his face so hard it woke him back up. And then the ref felt so bad for fucking Ben Askren, and he fucking stopped the fight. But that's another time. Sadly, I think Ben Askren is just gonna wrestle fuck the shit out of Jorge in this fight, and I absolutely hate it because Jorge had so much heat, man, after knocking Till out, going in the back and dropping a 3-piece on fucking Leon Edwards. I mean, he had fucking heat, man. I'm talking that dude was on ESPN and shit, and I just think it's gonna be snuffed here, man. This was the wrong fight for Jorge to take, man. Jorge shouldn't be fucking fighting wrestle fuck guys like Ben Askren. He should be throwing hands with guys that are going to at least stand up a little more and bang a little bit. God, I hope he catches Askren with something like he did Till, but I can't see it, man. Askren is, as much as I talk shit on that dude, what he does almost as good as anybody. So I think he's going to get Masvidal down as much as he wants, man. Masvidal, his takedown defense has gotten a little better over the years, but it's still not great, man. So I pray Jorge catches him with something, but I just can't see it, man. Askren's going to win a fairly easy decision in this fight.
Brad, how pregnant is Masvidal going to be after this fight?
Triplets, baby.
Yeah, what sort of shit does your healthcare allow down there, Wes?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Well, whatever it is, we know he's not going to be able to have an abortion, so it doesn't really make a difference.
I might know a guy though.
Good old Kevorkian.
Is that what we're calling Casper nowadays? Kevorkian?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, this is, as Wes said, Masvidal had some juice to him for a while there, and that kind of made people forget that he's still I think he's 5-5 in his last 10 fights.
Yep.
And those have all been to pretty good fighters, but not great fighters. And they all sort of follow the same theme where he doesn't do enough to get a decision. And then he does the Diaz thing and bitches about it afterwards. And Ben Askren's not the type of guy where not doing enough to get a decision is going to work out for you. Because that dude's going to be on you from the opening bell until the final minute or whenever you tap out and the ref steps in. So I think Askren's going to come forward. He's probably going to get caught with some stuff. He's going to eat a few shots on the way in. But let's also remember that Jorge Masvidal got out wrestled by Paul Daly once.
Yeesh.
So
Jesus Christ.
He's about to face Ben Askren, so that's not going to go well for him. And I personally just think Askren's going to pour it on here. I don't think this is going to be overly competitive, and another fight that kind of doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I gotta agree. This is a dumb fight. You like to see Masvidal in action fights against strikers and stuff like that. Instead, they put him against the All-American wrestler
Leon Edwards. I mean, It was literally made like a movie script was made, and then they give Leon Edwards fucking RDA. What the fuck are we doing, man?
Yeah, the UFC is doing UFC things.
You know what you guys were talking earlier, what do you do with Maya? It would have been awesome for Askren's UFC debut was him versus Maya.
Yeah, there you go.
Two dudes just want to grapple and just fucking see what happens.
Yeah, that would have been all right. But, of course, that's not how shit went down. Instead, they got to put him against a fan favorite in Robbie Lawler, where Askren can't really even talk shit because Lawler's a legend. So, UFC, they just don't know what they're doing.
Another fan favorite in Masvidal.
Yeah. As for this fight, I mean, we saw what Damian Maia was able to do against Masvidal, just kind of really shut him down. Maia wasn't really able to do too much, but I think this is just going to be so much worse. Askren's going to be able to get in tight and get him down. There is that chance that on that shot that he gets clipped, he gets kneed or something, but I put that as a pretty small chance, and then we kind of know what's going to happen. So I think this could be fairly boring. I kind of hope my bet loses, then Masvidal wins, but I'm closing the Marcos goes decision parlay with Askren. I got those two at minus 104, so yeah, I got just over a unit and a half on that. I just think Askren's wrestling is just way too much for damn near everybody in this division, and Masvidal, it's kind of always been the case. This is kind of how he always loses. He has lost some close striking fights, but early on in his career and even recently with Ben Henderson, Damian Maia, that's the deal. Takedowns and then not doing much in guard.
Masvidal's old enough in his career that if he was going to get past the point where he struggled with wrestlers, he would have done it already.
Yeah, I don't. Regardless if he's training with Covington a bunch, which I've heard he's not even training with Covington. This
not anymore. But even watch the training that he was doing with Covington, and Covington literally would ragdoll his ass And I know Covington's good, but it was like bad. Like he would just maul Jorge. It was horrible.
Next up, the co-main event, title fight. Women's bantamweight, Amanda Nunes versus Holly Holm. What do you got, Wes?
Yeah, this is an interesting fight. I think, me personally, in this fight, the only thing I'm trying to decide, and I'm going back and forth on, is if Nunes is going to get a finish here or not. I think she absolutely wins this fight. We can say all we want about how technical Holly is, and how she moves around the cage and shit. Let's not forget that since the Ronda win, she's beaten fucking Betch Correia and Megan Anderson. Like, that's it. You know what I'm saying? And she was in deep for a couple of rounds with Betch fucking Correia. I can't see her beating who I think now is unquestionably the greatest female fighter of all time. Man, that power. If this gets into any kind of grappling exchanges, I think Holly is completely fucked. Now, is Nunes going to get to her and finish her? I'm leaning that way. Nunes inside the distance is around even money right now. I know Holly, she does move very well, but watch Nunes's fights, man. She cuts off the cage so fucking well, dude. I don't think Holly's going to be able to stay away from that power for 25 minutes. And then, like I said, if Nunes does, get a hold of her at all, that's going to be really ugly, I think. So I think Nunes definitely wins this fight. And I'm leaning to her finishing this fight, but that's still a little toss up to me, because I do acknowledge that Holm has got very good movement, and it's just an awkward fighter to fight. She does use her length fairly well, but man, I remember Correa getting inside on her and landing stuff for a couple rounds. So if that's the case, Nunes is definitely going to get inside and land some shit on her. So I think Nunes probably gets a finish here. She's definitely going to win this fight.
Brad, are you as confident as Wes in Amanda Nunes or not?
I don't particularly know that confident is the word. So much for Amanda Nunes as not confident in Holly Holm. But I think the only way that Holly Holm wins this fight is she has to make Amanda Nunes grapple early and kind of hope that she gets tired, and then she can move around and pick her spots later in the fight. And honestly, that sounds pretty awful to me, so I hope that doesn't happen, because if I am watching at this point, I don't want to watch that. I kind of hope that Nunes can put it on her, and it doesn't just turn into Holm circling for 25 minutes and Nunes trying to chase her down, because that also sounds pretty awful. So I can't say I'm particularly excited about this fight, even though Amanda Nunes is one of the handful of female fighters that is pretty consistently worth watching.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. I'm a big fan of Amanda Nunes. I think I've bet on her in a lot of her last fights.
A whole lot. I think I talked about that last week. When we was all in Nashville at the weigh-ins, there was a bunch of us down there, and we fucking all kind of bet her as a 2-1 underdog against fucking Sarah McMahon. That's when the ride started. She's been
quit.
And then Nunes has been like a dog, I believe, 7 out of 9 fights or something like that. She's been a dog a ton, dude. But yeah, the mom quit fight, Sarah McMahon in Nashville 3 years ago.
Yeah, and she's rattled off.
Been a money train, yeah.
Yeah, money train since then. For some reason, this matchup has given me a bit of pause. I think it's just the style. Holly Holm makes close fights. Holly Holm was able to make the Cyborg fight close. I know she kind of give like remember when she fought Betch Correia, and Correia might have been up 2 rounds to none against her, and we were like, are you fucking kidding me? And then she knocked her out. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's Holmes a weird fighter. She does have a good background in striking. I think Nunes has a big advantage on the ground. So if Amanda Nunes wants, she could probably take her down there and smash her and likely sub her there. If it's on the feet, I think we might see something that might resemble the Shevchenko fights against Amanda Nunes. You know, a slow, just kind of pick your spots, striking fight. Almost looks like sparring. So I'm a bit worried for that. That's why I kind of think this might go deep and possibly go to decision. So I took Go's decision at plus 160 for 1 unit. I also put starts round 2 in an open parlay at minus 245. I thought that was pretty damn cheap considering I think they're going to be a bit cautious to start with, and Nunes does go deep. If it doesn't turn into a brawl, it'll probably go kind of deep. So I got to pick Nunes. I think I think she wins. It could get sketchy there if she starts gassing late in the fight, but I'm kind of thinking it might be a little closer than what the odds indicate, but I can't back Holly Holm. So yeah, the pick is definitely Nunes. Next
Sean,
up,
you said deep so many times in that breakdown that I thought we were talking about Yadong.
Oh, yes, I had the dong on my mind. Now for the main event of the night, you got Jon Jones against Thiago Santos.
Yeah, got the GOAT back in action. For what I believe this is the second time this year, and third fight in like what the past 8 months or so for old Jon Jones. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, man, we love us some fucking Thiago Santos on this show. That dude he's in that Lineker category for me. They better never cut this fucking guy, because it's just going to be insanity every time he fights. Man, I don't see it here, man. This is just another body for the greatest of all time. And what's crazy is, man, Santos is fucking good, dude. I mean, that guy's he's beaten some legit guys in the UFC, man. And done it fucking violently, that's the gap to Jon Jones at this point, though, man. I think Jon gets this done inside the distance. This might not even see the 4th round, man. Thiago Santos is just he's gonna have to fight how he usually does. I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily. It's going to end up being bad, but he's got to fight that way, I think, to have a chance against Jon here. He's going to have to put some heat on Jon and hopefully and hope to hurt him. I can't see it. The guy's just so fucking good, man. There hasn't, even the hoes of, we used to be able to argue that maybe Rumble had a chance against Bones because he gets hit a little bit. I mean, that's starting to close up too, man. That guy's getting hit less and less now. Going back to his wrestling a lot now, which crazy to think about it. It's some of the best we've ever seen in this sport. Like, that man's takedowns in his top game is arguably some of the best we've ever seen in the sport. The dude rarely would use it. He's going back to that now, which puts him in better spots in fights. It takes away that chance of him getting caught with something. He's been posting videos lately talking about subbing guys and shit. So I wouldn't be shocked to see Jon maybe take this down and land some shit on the mat, maybe go for a choke or something. Just the way he's been talking. So yeah, he's gonna get it done here, man. And I got got bones at several different lines in almost every other kind of tennis shit and soccer stuff that I've played over the past week and a half. And I think he gets it done inside the distance. Maybe look at the points handicap when it comes out, see what that line is. But yeah, this only ends one way, man. The greatest of all time, catching another body.
Brad, how's the greatest of all time going to do it?
I think that in general, he's been a different fighter since he came back from that UFC 200 suspension. Like, he broke down Cormier and then knocked him out. He was beating Gustafsson, started to break him down, then took him down and just finished him off. I really think that he would have destroyed Anthony Smith if it wasn't for that illegal knee. And then he
let up
off a little bit.
He let up. Fight. Absolutely. Yep.
And I think that he's going to go out there. I don't think that Thiago Santos is really going to be able to touch him. I think that Jones is going to keep him at distance. He's just going to sort of poke and prod at him with his jabs and his oblique kicks and everything. And then Santos is going to start to get a little reckless. He's going to start to throw bigger shots than he should. He's going to start to leap in a little bit, and Jones is really going to pick him apart. And at some point, he's going to take him to the ground when the opportunity presents itself and just absolutely smash him. I don't know if it's going to be a sub, because it kind of seems like once Jones gets those elbows going, he doesn't really switch to anything else. He just keeps sort of hammering away. So I don't know how exactly he's going to finish him, but I kind of think the first time this goes to the mat, it'll be second, third rounds, and Jones is going to put him away.
Yeah, I really only give Thiago Santos a puncher's chance, and even at that, as we've seen in the past, Jones has a hell of a chin when he does get hit. Pretty much really haven't seen him rocked, and he's been hit with some heavy shit, so this is going to be bad, I think. I think Jones will be cautious, in the first round, just kind of gauge his distance, figure out Santos, make sure he doesn't get clipped with anything, and then I think he's just going to take Santos down, smash him out, sub him, do something. I just have a hard time seeing Santos doing much more than just winging something and landing. It's possible, but when you got the GOAT with an unreal chin, it's hard to see it happening. So I have about 6 units on different sports parlays with ending with Jon Jones, so I'll be looking for that to cash. I also did just close the Nunes starts round 2 parlay with Jones starts round 2. Jones starts round 2 was only minus 215. I think that's pretty low. Jones doesn't really finish guys in the first round. He kind of takes his first round to figure it out. There is a chance that Santos gets wild and he takes him down and smashes him there, and there's obviously a tiny chance that Santos lands something, but I just don't think that is going to happen. So I think Jones takes him out, whether it's the second or third, and he does what he does. I mean, I don't think anybody's really expecting anything different. He is a 6.5 to up to 8 to 1 favorite for a reason, and I think that's low. Jones is the GOAT for a reason, smartest fighter, just has all the tools. Not much more to say. It's going to be Jon Jones on the weekend, and that pretty much does it. Next week we have an awesome fight card headlined by Durandamy versus Aspen Ladd.
Get the fuck out of here!
And in the
that's not a real thing, is it?
That's
Get
a headline
the fuck
fight.
out of here!
And the co-main is Uriah Faber versus Ricky Simone.
Get the fuck out of here, dude!
Oh my god!
Oh, just from
what is this?
one spectrum to the other.
Bro, they cut John Lineker and they got Durandamy versus Ladd. Fucking headline, fucking fuck.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that'll.
What have we done?
That'll be
What the
interesting.
fuck?
Wow.
I would assume Brad's not going to be back for that shit show, and I 100% do not blame him.
Oh my god!
Hey, I'm going to be in Vegas when you guys are recording,
Smart.
so I have a
Smart.
legitimate excuse. But even if I didn't, I wouldn't be wasting my time talking about that shit.
And that's why you're the smartest man on here, Brad.
Sometimes on here.
Sometimes on here. Unfortunately, me and Wes will be back next week, and hopefully Jay can make it back alive from the Jersey Shore and join us.
He's
as
gonna
well.
be. He's gonna be like fucking Weekend at Bernie's by fucking Friday, dude. Straight up. They're gonna have that dude on strings and shit by Friday.
But seriously, though, for you guys showing up next week, you guys are the real MVPs.
Oh shit. On that note, we will say goodbye, and everybody enjoy the fights.